Yo, gamers! It's a good thing that I couldn't get a video out yesterday because we got the other combat relics, so we can just compare the entire the full whammy. As a quick reaction on my video that I uploaded this afternoon about the frequently asked questions video, they added two more questions, and that's basically: will I have to climb enrage levels on bosses like Zamorak, Talos, or Arc Glacier? And the answer is no. You can immediately start at whatever enrage one. That's awesome. And will I need to complete the extinction quest in order to create dino arrows, which is the highest tier of ranged ammunition that you turn into gold arrows as well, which is the best ammunition used. Dino arrows content has been unblocked, so players can create them without needing to have completed the extinction quest. So they don't need to do the quest, and that's awesome. Mod Hooley also made a nice Reddit post where he addressed some changes that were made. Basically, shop stocks will now immediately refresh, but since it's such a last minute change, they cannot increase stock items. I don't think Old School does that either, so that's absolutely no problem. Which does mean that if an item is only stocked, only has 2 stock, you cannot buy more than 2. But if it has like 3,000, you can buy 3,000 at a time, etc., etc., right? And then they go into the dino arrows, and there's a list of auto-completed quests, which I should pop on the screen right now. And there we go. Let's just get right into the combat relics. Okay, there we go. There is some effects that every style has, so we'll quickly go over those. And that is basically every combat style gains twice the amount of adrenaline they would get regularly with basic attacks. This will probably put a lot of precedence on adrenaline dumps. So in RuneScape 3 we have an item, a necklace called the Essence of Finality, or often abbreviated as the EOF. This is the best slot amulet, and it can store special attacks. You do this by using the special attack item on the amulet. It will destroy it, like you'll get prompted, it will be destroyed. And now if you press the EOF ability that's in your hit points part of your combat abilities, you'll basically do the spec. It will be exactly the same as the original spec, except it takes the stats of your main weapon. So if we take, for example, what's a good weapon? Guthix Claws from the Guthix Staff. If you put that in EOF, it will take 30% adrenaline, and it will be calculated with whatever your staff you're wearing. So let's say you're wearing an upgraded FSOA, you have tier 100 stats, meaning you do a lot of damage, and you get, of course, the damage, the defense reduction effect on top of that as well. So this was added in order to make like old specs relevant, and so that like weapons with great specs will never sort of get outclassed by bigger stat sticks. And yeah, that's just massive. Let's go. Second thing that every combat style has: abilities and special attack cooldowns are reduced by 20%. This basically means that you can do your DPS rotations like 20% more often, which will take a bit of the adrenaline that you generate extra, but you still should have enough adrenaline to dump a lot of it. Oh yeah, the last thing is every combat style will get 100% hit chance, so you no longer struggle with accuracy with your main style. I say that, but we're not sure like if they're in separate tiers, or if there's like one big tier where you can only pick one combat relic, if you can pick 2 combat relics, we don't know. But I'm gonna assume for now, for this video, that you pick one of the 4 combat styles and that's it. Then we're probably gonna go over all the combat styles one by one, and I'll probably start with like the least interesting and build our way up. I think that's fair. The 3 combat styles that use ammunition, because I'm looking at the ranged ones now, they get a 95% chance to save your ammunition. That means you don't have to make that much ammo, because a piece of ammo that gets saved, so either a rune or an arrow or necromancy runes, they once again have a 95% chance to get saved. So yeah, you really don't use much, but you still need to make some. But that's pretty big. It used to be 50%, but after feedback they increased it. So that's awesome that they still listen to like feedback on such a short notice. It's really cool. And the other special effect that ranged has is single target ranged attacks will also be cast up to 9 additional enemies with 1 tile of the target. Yeah, here's the thing. That is great for area of effect damage, and it gives you slightly stronger chins. Because you have chin chompas in RuneScape 3 as well. Because you can now use a tier 100 weapon with the chin effect. Yeah, where is this going to be useful? Maybe in elite dungeons. There is some AoE situations on the Emascot boss. I guess you got the 5 glazers that spawn in the Arc Glazer fight. Yeah, this effect is definitely more catered towards Slayer. So I would say, like, if you're like a Slayer fanatic, if you're a big ranged fan and you don't do any other combat styles, pick ranged. But if you want like sort of unique gameplay, definitely don't pick ranged. I think for the next one, probably my favorite combat style in the game right now, but the effects are stronger than ranged, definitely, but yeah, still a bit of a... Yeah, just a simple, a bit of a boring change, but it's strong, I guess. Also, the 95% chance to save runes. I'm gonna assume this also stacks with grasping pouches from Croesus, which already have, I don't know, is it 40% chance to save runes? So you probably don't use that many once you have those. And your mage critical strike damage is increased by 50%. This is crit damage, so it's additive. I'm pretty sure that with a best in slot ranged setup, you already have like 200% crit damage. So this goes up to like 250 with the 2 mech and armor 5 piece that nobody uses. You would go even up to 300. Yeah, it's just not that much. Basically, it means 50% on top of 200. That would be an increase of 25%. And since, let's say you crit about half your hits, there will be like an increase in damage of 12.5%, which is still something. But yeah, it's not insane. Like the cooldown and adrenaline are way more. So like for style specific, it's not that insane. Next one in the order of most interesting, Necromancy. You save also 95% of your ectoplasm and runes when casting abilities and incantations. I guess pretty nice. You don't have to make that many runes and ectoplasms. So it's nice quality of life for the league. Unlock all the abilities of the Necromancy Well of Souls, the talent tree. It's nice. Also counts for the last quest with Raziel. So that will save you a lot of time. So if you don't pick this and you still want to do Raziel as a boss, it's going to take a lot of time to get all the souls, and this will allow you to skip that, but it doesn't make you any stronger. And the unique effect Necromancy gets is Necromancy spirits are 25% larger and deal 25% more damage. 25% more damage is minion damage. So that means that the ghost heals more, because the ghost heals based on what damage he deals. Yeah, and all the other things is just more damage, because they're damage familiars. It's not base damage, so you actually don't get more protection from your Phantom. Not that you really need it, but yeah, that doesn't get any bonuses. And spirits are 25% larger. I hope that means that they get 25% larger attack range, because that would mean that like your zombie AoE is a bit more, and your skeleton spends less time running and more attacking. Maybe this is enough to in certain situations, like for example the last phase of Raziel, your zombie cannot hit Raziel. Maybe this allows him to. There's probably some other spots as well where you can't hit him. If that's not the case, this is just like 25% more annoying for everybody around you, I guess, because like you're cluttering their screen 25% more. And then I think actually the winner of the combat styles, probably the most interesting change, is in melee. Melee weapons get an increased attack range of 1 tile. This means currently you have halberd ranged weapons, named after like the crystal halberd and stuff. They get 1 tile increased attack range, and that basically means that you can attack from 2 tiles away, which means you don't need to go melee. Could be useful for example in phase 4 of Rexor, where he starts meleeing you if you're melee range, but if you're 1 tile away, he no longer does that, so it's pretty nice. You can now do that with every weapon. Plus, already halberd ranged weapons, they now become 2 tiles, so 3 tiles basically. I'm not sure if that means the AoE range is increased, because a second thing that halberd type weapons have is that they increase your AoE weapons by 1 tile as well. So the hurricane ability hits in an 3x3, so every tile around you. And with a halberd weapon, it becomes a 5x5. I'm not sure if this means that it becomes a 7x7. Because if it becomes a 7x7, melee just won the AoE race as well. Like, why would you pick ranged for Slayer if you can just AoE in a 7x7? With, like, multiple abilities. That's just mental. Melee base damage is increased by 500. Only style that just gets flat active damage. Like, oh, I mean, why not? That's a pretty significant amount of damage, so I guess I'll take it. Base damage also increased stuff like the Zeryl's Goldsword special. But only like the damage it deals when it's on the floor, like if enemies walk into it. Like most people probably don't even know that deals damage, but there you go. And I'm pretty sure that also affects weapon poison and stuff. Not that melee really benefits too much from it, since it's the big bonk style, not the many hit style. But it does, so. And the last one, that probably makes melee the most broken of all, is melee damage heals for 10% of the damage dealt. This basically means, in combination with the weapon I'm currently wearing, the Exekill, with its special attack, once you unlocked the Chaos Roar ability from Zamorak, and you got the weapon from Tuscan Zak, within a Berserk, you can hit the hit cap. Which is, you hit 4 hits, all hitting the hit cap. Hit cap is 30,000 damage. That means you hit 120k, basically every cooldown. 60-second cooldown. In this league, that actually becomes a 48-second cooldown. So every 48 seconds you heal 12k. On top of all the other damage you're doing. Melee is immortal. It's probably a combo style. You don't even need to sweat. Using the regular prayer book and the maximum power prayers, including the Eclipse Soul. Usually the trade-off is you can't soul split, and soul split is a lot of healing, so a lot of bosses will just kill you, or you need to eat a lot, and that's why you would actually pick the curses with soul split. But melee is probably gonna heal so much that you can literally just use the Eclipse Moon, get that 4% crit chance, get a little bit more base damage as well from the prayers, and just go absolutely bonkers. If we take a quick power rating, I would say melee is the strongest. Necromancy and magic are both buffed, but in a very boring way. And ranged is buffed for Slayer and very niche bosses, but barely. So I would say if you love melee, like, go for melee. There's probably one more tier with more general combat buffs. That could 100% turn this on its head. But for now it seems that melee is by far the most powerful, range is the weakest, and mage and necro are just kinda, you know, there, I guess. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with the next reveals, and have a great day.